Well, it was a good time to be looking stoned, damn. Do, do, do. Do, 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 do. Oh, fuck, I should pick up my mic. I should maybe, like, share my own streams, too. Probably should have picked this up before I, even hit start. That's fine. The chaos is part of the charm. That's what I'm gaslighting myself into believing. Do, do, do. Hey, Mark, what's up? Switching to live chat. Don't mind this big old cyst I have on my face. What do I mean by poly? I mean polyamory. I just didn't want to put that in the whole title. Hello, Aaron. Hello, Cinnamons. Hello, Bon. Jaden. Who else was here? Max. Welcome, welcome, welcome. I'm also doing my makeup at some point during this because I have to take a picture today. I don't like doing that. Hello, Vina. English finals. Oh, that's fun. Joyous occasions there. I hope it was Polly Pocket or some other doll series. Oh, I'm so sorry. No, no, that kind of Polly would have two L's. The cute cow misled you a bit. Oh, I'm sorry. That cow's part of my brand, Vienna. Yeah, no, if I would to be talking about Polly Pocket, I would have capital P. Love my cheetah onesie, thank you. Have a good time zone then. That's not the topic I want to listen to. I mean, that's fair. Guess you finally turned 18 on the 30th. Well, happy birthday, Max. And I'm sorry, now you have to pay taxes. I hope you're not going to say anything bad about polyamory. Bella, read the description of the stream. I am poly. I've identified as poly for like a decade. That's why I have thoughts. So I'm looking at makeup. I'm probably going to say lots of bad things about poly, but it kind of just depends on where you sit on the opinion scale, I guess. My colors are mixing together, and that's no good. No, no worries, Bella. It's okay. I mean, like, that itself is gonna tie into what I'm talking about. How do you feel about your sister wives since it's poly? Oh, how do I feel about sister wives since it's poly? Uh, I'll get into that, because it's not actually. Sister wives isn't poly. Um, sister wives is polygamy, which is different. I mean, fuck it, we may as well get into it now. Who the fuck is a sister wife? Oh, Cinnamons, you gonna learn. You gonna learn today, son. Okay, so I got introduced to polyamory by my ex-husband. All right, it's so innocent. You're a child. I got introduced to polyamory by my ex-husband. When I met him, he basically told me, "This is who I am. You can either like, be down to clown with that or not, and the choice is yours." I decided I was 18. Like, take this decision however you will. Have your opinions about it. It's fine. I do not mind. Um, excuse me. I was 18 and had something to prove to myself, so I went, totally, I'm down with it. I'm down to try anything once. Which is true. I am fairly down to try anything once. Sister wife, what a phrase to join the stream on. Good morning. Hello, hello. Um, so that relationship, the almost 10 years that it spanned. Oh shit. It's been longer than a decade then, hasn't it? Courtney can do math. Okay, it's about 12 years. 12 years as I've identified as poly. My marriage was about 7, almost 8 years. And it was a polyamorous relationship. Um, Neither of us had another partner, but that's just because it didn't fucking work, and we'll get into that. Um, so I've had a lot of experience. We were also swingers. We did a lot of that too. Like we did a lot of swapping. Like I've got a lot of experience in terms of non-monogamous relationships, and I've seen what does and what doesn't work. I've been in a lot of different communities, and I don't mean like TikTok or Tumblr communities. I mean like there are sites for people who are poly, not FetLife, not FetLife. Am I the only one in chat who knows what Sister Wives is? No, I know what it is, Bella. Why is the poly in quotes in the title? Because I find, in my opinion, as someone who identifies as a polyamorous person, there's a difference between people who are actually polyamorous and internet polyamory. So, poly, in quotations, in my opinion, is people like um, uh, Poppy, people like my sister, people like you'll find them on dating apps who are like, oh, I'm married, but we're polyamorous, it's fine. The people who use polyamory as an excuse to just cheat on their partners, that's poly because it's not real polyamory. There's also a group of people who seem to believe that just having multiple partners makes you polyamorous. It doesn't. That's not poly, that's poly. Um, Now again, this comes from, like, my opinion comes from a lot of experience, being involved in a lot of communities that aren't, like, on regular social media. So the communities themselves are actually for, like, learning about polyamory and being polyamorous with other polyamorous people, so you don't have to deal with the messiness that comes with a monogamous person in a polyamorous relationship, or someone who trying to gaslight their partner into being monogamous. Um, a lot of people also um, they misnomer an open relationship as a polyamorous relationship, okay? So in terms of relationship dynamics, you have a monogamous relationship, you have an open relationship, and you have a polyamorous relationship, okay? Monogamous is pretty straightforward. Everyone knows what that is. One partner, two partners exclusive to each other. An open relationship is when you have two partners that are emotionally exclusive to each other, but they have sexual relations with other people. And the big difference between an open relationship and polyamory is the divide between sex and love. Okay, the sex and emotions. Okay, for an open relationship, it's about sex. Okay, you're not going out to date somebody, you're not going out having an emotional or a romantic connection. You're just getting your rocks off because you found somebody hot and you're with somebody who's totally okay with that. And there's conversations to be had. Like, it's not just I go fuck someone and then tell you I did. It's like if I'm out and I see someone, it's like, hey, I might have a chance. Is like, is it cool if I go hook up with someone, or do we need to talk about it first? Right? So that's an open relationship. It's just sex based. When you get into dating other people, that's when you get into polyamory, because the basis of polyamory, a lot of people think it's having multiple partners or dating multiple people at once. No, you're just dating multiple people. If you're not exclusive to begin with, and like it's pretty common for like someone to be dating multiple people when they're younger or like not settled down yet before they go exclusive with somebody. Like, you don't necessarily date somebody and then become exclusive right away. So seeing multiple people doesn't make you polyamorous. The divide is being polyamorous means you have the capacity to have feelings for more than one person at a time, strong romantic feelings for more than one person at a time, without, and here's the caveat, without your feelings for one person taking away from your feelings for another person. Okay? That's what polyamory is. It doesn't mean acting on it. It doesn't mean having the multiple partners. It just means you're completely capable of being in love with person A and person B without your feelings for person A taking away from your feelings from person B, or your feelings from person B taking away from your feelings for person A. Okay? It's a belief that no one person is going to be capable of fulfilling all of your relationship needs, and to expect that out of somebody is kind of selfish. Right? So it's not about how many people you have in your bed, how many partners are in your polycule, how many people you can sleep with on Tinder while your wife doesn't know about it. That's not what being polyamorous is. Majority of actual polyamorous people are in monogamous fucking relationships. Oh, hang on, I got a hair in my fucking camera there. It's dancing and driving me nuts. There we go. might relate to this. It's not romantic, so I don't think I'm poly. Cinnamons, you're also, okay, no offense, please don't take this offensively, but you're also 14. You have the dating experience of a gnat. Please don't take that offensively. Like, your brain's not even like close to being finished cooking. So like figuring out the dynamics of like interpersonal relationships and what does and doesn't vibe with you is not going to be set in your mind yet. And that's completely normal. You're a child. You're very young. You're still pubescent, for God's sakes. Your brain is still cooking. So, and it's why I kind of have a problem when like 14, 15, and 16-year-olds go, I'm polyamorous. Sweetheart, you don't even know what love is. Okay, like your brain is still mistaking sexual attraction for love. Like you still haven't learned the difference between sex and love and how one does not equal the other. So no 16-year-old is polyamorous. I'm sorry, you don't know. You may be open to it. You can say, I'm open to this and I haven't decided what I'm about, but you can't sit there and be like, I'm polyamorous and I'm going to be in a polycule. And it's like, honey, you don't even know how interpersonal relationships work. You're still cooking, okay? Give it time. So, and tying back to like most actual polyamorous people are in monogamous relationships. That's due to a lot of factors. Okay, there's a lot of polyamorous people who have gaslit themselves into thinking that like they're just horrible cheaters that need to be with one person. I call that media-induced monogamy. That's my own headcanon term for it. Because like, when you're a kid, you grow up, typically the nuclear family is like two partners that are exclusive to each other. The nuclear family you typically see on TV is two partners exclusive to each other. All the rom-coms, all the romance movies, the songs, everything, it's two partners exclusive to each other. So it's easy to like be socialized into monogamy. That's why I call it media induced, because like when you're a kid, you're just, I want to grow up and marry my Prince Charming. You don't think that maybe there's three, right? Because that was never an option presented to you. Um, no, I'm not like, at the same time, I'm not saying you don't like to sit there and be like, oh, you're not polyamorous, like to a 16-year-old. You don't like, or 14 or 15-year-old. You don't know what you are yet, is basically the thing. You could decide that you're something and in 20 years figure out, oh shit, I was wrong. Like, guys, I thought I was straight until I was like 28. I thought I was straight and cisgendered until I was 28, and then I went, oh, I'm not? Oh, fuck, I've never been? I thought this is just how everybody was. Sometimes I feel weird for not having dated over 19. Don't. No, I didn't mean to say that you were saying you were poly. It's just, that was just a good segue because it ties into my idea of poly, like internet polyamory, because like, every kid and their dog is polyamorous online now. Like every 16, 17, and 18-year-old is in a polycule on Discord, and like, I'm sorry, y'all are just trying shit on. You're just trying on shoes. You don't know what fits yet. It's as long as you stay in your age ranges, you're fine. Just like calm down on the labels. Don't be beholden to so many things. Go easy on yourself is my main point. Um, this is going to be fun to segment when I turn this into a video. I haven't even hit record. Shit. I haven't even been recording myself, guys. Okay. I'm gonna start that all over just because I'm gonna segment this into a video as well. Um, we're talking about polyamory, and the reason I have poly in quotes in the title is because I personally find there's a difference between actual polyamory and media-induced polyamory. Okay. No, that's what I call media-induced. No, no, no. I'm starting up. I'll cut that out. There's a difference between actual polyamory and internet polyamory. That's what I was calling it. Feller forgot the cam, right? Also talking to chat. Say hello, chat, except you won't be on screen. I haven't figured that out yet. I'll probably cut a bunch of this. That's fine. That'll be work for me to do. So, the difference between, like, actual polyamory and internet polyamory being everyone and their dog is polyamorous on the internet. Everybody on Discord is in a polycule, it seems, and, like, everyone's polyamorous, and it seems to be just so that they can cheat on their partners and have a free reign, like, hall pass, whatever. There's also a lot of people who seem to mistake open relationships for polyamorous relationships, okay? An open relationship is sexually based. It's you're going and having sex with somebody who's not your partner, but you're not going and having romantic or emotional connections with another person who's not your partner. Polyamory is having the capacity to have romantic emotional connections with more than one person without one taking away from the other. And that doesn't always mean acting on it either. Like, many people are polyamorous without acting on the fact that they're polyamorous, right? I myself am polyamorous. I have identified as polyamorous for like a decade, over a decade. My first marriage was a polyamorous marriage. We did, he tried to have a girlfriend, it didn't work out. I tried to have a boyfriend, it didn't work out. And we will get into that, why it didn't work out and how that happens a lot. We did swinging for a lot too, and like I've been in multiple communities online, and not Tumblr, not Discord, not like regular social media. I mean places online that are for poly people, to talk to poly people about poly things, and nobody in the space is monogamous. Anybody who comes into these spaces going, I want to get my monogamous wife to open up our marriage, they're just like, this place is not for you, get the fuck out. Right? So I learned a lot from people who have had experience and have like positive experience and have gone through these things. And I went through a lot of it myself, my own experiences, and learned what does and doesn't work and why it does and doesn't work, which is why I have a lot of opinions on it. And there's a lot of people, especially online, people like fucking Poppy, like my sister, who else? Again, everybody and their dog is poly on the internet. But those are like the two that I can name off the top of my head. They use polyamory as an excuse to just cheat openly with like no shame whatsoever. It's just their hall pass to be like, oh, of course I can like sexually come on to somebody in front of my wife because like I'm polyamorous. It's okay. They signed up for this. Oh, thank you for this, for the subs, Mark. It's very sweet of you. And those people aren't polyamorous. They're just cheaters who want to cheat without hiding. They're just selfish people who want to have their cake and eat it too. Because being polyamorous hardly ever means acting on it, okay? It rarely ever means acting on it, because for most polyamorous people, more often than not, you end up having feelings for somebody, for two people or multiple people who are fucking monogamous. And you cannot take someone who is monogamous, put them in a polyamorous relationship, and expect them to be happy. It's never going to happen. Okay? Now, the inherent belief in polyamory, especially in like the actual community, bye Aaron, is I lost my train of thought there. Fuck. Ah! The inherent belief behind it is that words. Oh, guys, I had a whole spiel I was going to say there. Now I forgot it. I said it earlier too. And now I can't remember what it was. Damn it. But how do I want to go about saying this? This is hard to do without scripting stuff. But yeah, most people who are online and saying they're poly, they're either kids or they're cheaters, and it's disgusting. Like sorry, the train of thought was like you can't take someone who's monogamous, put them in a polyamorous relationship, and expect them to be happy, because for a monogamous person, they're only capable of having emotional, like romantic feelings for one person at a time. Okay, they really can't conceive like loving person A as much as they love person B, and that not meaning that person A is somehow not enough. Okay, for monogamous people, one person really does fulfill all their needs out of a relationship. For polyamorous people, we just inherently don't believe that's something to expect out of somebody. We don't believe that it's like reasonable to expect one person who's their own person, who has been through their own experiences, to fulfill every single need that I have out of a relationship. And that it's completely possible that, my boyfriend could, fulfill so many needs that I get out of a relationship, but there's a few that he doesn't and he's not comfortable doing, and I don't want to push him to do that. But like, my second boyfriend does all those things that he, doesn't need or want or is comfortable with out of a relationship, and one's not taking away from the other, right? But yeah, and the problem tends to be that there's not a lot of actual polyamorous people. Well, No, there probably are more than like statistically or is known about, but like most of them are in monogamous relationships. Because yes, there are more monogamous people than there are polyamorous people in the world. It's just that's just the way it is. Okay, like polyamorous people are kind of the abnormality because socially we're conditioned to be monogamous, right? It just and blending in with the crowd is how we survive. That's just natural, and that's just human survival. So, yeah, statistically, most poly people end up having feelings for multiple people who are monogamous, and it doesn't work. You can't force people to be, you can no more force somebody to be polyamorous than you can force a polyamorous person to be monogamous. Now, that doesn't mean a polyamorous person can't be completely fulfilled in a monogamous relationship. A lot of polyamorous people are in monogamous relationships because they are completely fulfilled. They just know enough about themselves to know if I start to have feelings for somebody else, that one doesn't mean I don't love my partner anymore. It doesn't mean I'm going to or have to act on it. And it doesn't mean anything other than, oh, well, shit, there's something there. If I were into the abnormality, say, if I were into going down that path, it feels like there's something there. Like I can confidently say I've got pretty strong feelings for more than one person, like currently. There's my boyfriend and then there's two others, and the two others I don't talk to. I haven't talked to in years and I won't talk to. They don't know. They're not going to know. Nobody's going to know because it's not something I have to act on. I'm not missing out of anything out of my relationship. I'm completely fulfilled in my relationship. I don't need anything more. So why complicate matters by going and finding more? I also personally have a problem with polyamorous people who are actively searching for a new partner. Okay? In everything that I've seen, everything that I've experienced, and everything that I've been through, and with people that I've talked to, most successful polyamorous relationships just sort of happen. Okay, it just sort of like falls together in the right. I'm sorry, I'm getting shaky here. Just sort of falls together in the right, circumstances. Okay, nobody was looking for anybody. It just kind of happened. The moment you have, in my opinion, the moment you have somebody, polyamorous or not, actively searching for another partner or a new partner, that tells me that you're actively searching for the hunt. You're not interested in a relationship. You're interested in the start of a relationship. You're interested in the honeymoon phase, the hunt, the give and take, the chase aspect of it. And once you've secured your prize, it's not fun and new and thrilling anymore. So you slap on the poly label and you go keep finding that fun and new. And that's why you see a lot of these Discord poly bitches constantly cycling girlfriends or partners or boyfriends out every 3 months or so. Like every 3 months, it's a new love of their life to add to the polycule. Yes, Poppy, I am talking directly to your fucking ass. Fucking going off on, what is it, Red Note, fucking Blue Sky, I don't know, the Twitter substitute, tweeting all the exact same shit that you tweeted about Noah, except it's like literally a different girl. Like, people like that have no interest in a fucking solid, healthy relationship. People like my sister have no interest in a solid, healthy relationship with one or multiple partners. They want the chase. They want the inherent predatory nature of trying to gain somebody's favor. And the reason why I say it's inherently predatory is because they're always the one hunting. They're always the one chasing more. They're never being sought out. They're always the one hunting. They're not the prey. They are the predator. And to them, poly is an excuse to prey on people out in the open and then try and shame you for telling them that they're a bad person for it. Like, there's a reason why, in general, you will more often find love when you stop looking for it as opposed to when you're actively hunting for it. Because when you're searching for a partner, you're spending all your energy and all your focus and your mind is set on impressing people, trying to present the best side that you think is like you've turned into a salesman at that point. You're no longer a person. You're like a car salesman trying to sell a used car. Sorry to like call anybody a used car, but this works for me too. Like it's the same for me. Like I'm not trying to directly call anybody out. It's just human nature. you turn into a salesman and you're like, hey, look at this thing. It's shiny, it's new, we've buffed it all up, we've shaved, we've exfoliated, we wear makeup, but not too much makeup. We're not like those other girls, right? Like, you're not being authentic. So the reason why more relationships, when you're doing that sort of thing, won't work out is because you've sold someone on an idea that you don't have the energy to keep up long term. As opposed to when you're not looking for a relationship and your mindset's more focused on being relaxed, being comfortable, being you, enjoying yourself. And then the parts, like the naturally fucking appealing parts come out of you that attract somebody who's interested in you at your relaxed. So there is no reason to be on all the time. And then the newness doesn't fade out of the relationship. Like, does it make sense what I'm saying? Like, it's just, you start finding love when you stop looking for it, because that's when you start being yourself. And you start attracting people who like you for you instead of the you that you're trying to sell to them. The problem with poly people that are constantly on the hunt for a new relationship and a new partner and another member of the polycule is that they have to constantly sell themselves to somebody. After about 3 months, which is about as long as most people are able to keep like the mask up for about 3 months. 3 months average is how long it takes people to drop the mask. And fucking start paying attention and you'll notice it. A lot of these polycule relationships are cycling out new members every 3 months or so. Because the main member of the polycule, the primary partner, the predator, so to say, can only keep that act up for so fucking long. They can only sell somebody on that for so long. And then when people start getting comfortable, the predator gets bored. So they cause and stir up some drama because drama is more fun than boredom and comfortability. And now they have the chance, the reason, and the excuse to go hunt for a new partner. Bye, Bella. And like, I did various types of an open relationship with my marriage, like before deciding whether or not I actually was polyamorous. Like, I didn't call myself polyamorous right from the get-go. I said I was in a polyamorous relationship, but I wasn't. I considered myself monogamous at the time. Um, but the thing is, like, when I got introduced to polyamory, I didn't just listen to the guy who sold it to me. Like, I didn't just listen to my ex-husband. I went and talked to other people. I went and got more information. I did research. I didn't just talk to the person trying to recruit me into their polycule, so to speak. I actually did some digging to be like, is this for me? Like, is this something that I like agree with and can get down with, or is this just something that goes against everything I feel inside my body? And, that's where I got a lot of, like, anecdotal and like experience from people and experience myself. I had people guide me through the process of like, listen, if this isn't for you, this isn't for you. And there's lots of things you can do before just flat out letting your partner get another girlfriend. And like, I got catfished at 13 and 14. I was fucking common law married by about 18, 19 in a polyamorous relationship. We were swingers for years. And I think it was Bon asked earlier what swinging is. Swinging is when, like, you swap partners with another married couple. Like, two couples more and more get together and just swap partners. There's finer details of it, but that's the gist of it, is just swinging is, like, swapping. And then bringing it back to the very beginning of this, someone mentioned sister wives. The difference between sister wives and polyamory is sister wives is not polyamory, it's polygamy. Polygamy is the belief or the relationship structure where there is, for a streamer to not get banned for smoking. Yeah, they don't care. Doesn't seem to be anyway. But So polygamy is the idea of one person can have multiple partners, but all of those partners only have one. Typically, the way you see it is one man with multiple wives. So the guy can, it's also a religious thing. I just don't remember which fucking subsect of Christianity that it is, or fucking Mormonism, or fucking, I don't fucking know. Um, I am not a learned bitch in terms of all the subsects of that nonsense. Um, what was I saying there? So yeah, so like it typically you see it as like one guy with multiple wives. The multiple wives all have one husband. They only have one husband. They can only have one husband. They all have the same husband. But that husband can have as many fucking wives as he wants to. That's polygamy in a nutshell. It can go female. It can go like the other way too. It is Mormons. Thank you, Alyssa. I think it's like a subsect of Mormons though. I don't think like I'm pretty sure Mormonism at one point branched off because someone was like, I want multiple wives, and someone else was like, fuck no, and he's like, I'm gonna make my own Mormonism. If I remember correctly. Not all Mormons. But anyway, like, it can go the other way too. Like, you can have a wife with multiple husbands, but all the husbands only have one wife. I don't agree with that inherently because, like, that's, you set yourself up for fucking failure. First of all, you just set yourself up for fucking failure. Like, how often does like one man or one woman struggle to meet the needs of their one fucking wife or husband? And then you wanna multiply that failure tenfold? Like fucking why? Polygamy is illegal, but like it's illegal in the sense of you're not going to get arrested for being polygamous. Correct me if I'm wrong. I've got to double check the laws with Canada, but like you're not going to get arrested and charged necessarily for being polygamous. You're just not going to be allowed to legally have more than one wife. Polygamy sounds like cuckoldry. Ah, I mean, not necessarily, because like cuckolding is like basically it's like I don't want to say is it a fetish? Yeah, I guess I would say it's a fetish or a kink more than it is like a relationship practice because cuckoldry typically is what's the word I'm looking for? Specific to the bedroom, if you know what I mean. Like cuckoldry is about like I don't know. Cuckoldry is a mixed bag because yeah, it's more of a kink thing because like technically there's aspects of cuckoldry that like arguably in swinging. There's people who would argue that simply like seeing your partner engage in sexual activities with someone else is cuckoldry, but like voyeurism isn't necessarily cuckoldry. Like there's a humiliation aspect that is supposed to go hand in hand with cuckoldry. Like that's the whole point of it, to be quite honest. How can Sin say those words but you can't? I'm not sure. I don't have anything I don't have any monetize or not monitoring. Smoke keeps going towards the fucking camera. But yeah, like cuckoldry has an aspect of humiliation to it. Like the whole point is like it's not just somebody else sorry, it's not just somebody else sleeping with your partner. It's like I'm sleeping with your partner because you can't do it right. Do you know what I mean? Like there's a humiliation aspect to it. You can, okay. I mean, I believe you. You have the power to. Despite that one screenshot that's going around that says I'm your actual mom, what that was meant to say was I'm not your actual mom, so I can't tell you shit. I ain't nobody's actual mom. I made sure of that twice. But yeah, there's a humiliation aspect, and then like I don't know, just there's a big problem with the internet, and I'm gonna sound old saying this, but like there, I'm not older than the internet, but I'm like older than most social media, so I've seen a lot. Okay, when I got on the internet, when my generation was getting on the internet, we were told like, no, I'm nobody's actual mom. Like I said, that screenshot was a fucking typo because I typed too fast and I just didn't put in the word not. There's like a screenshot of somebody took from my server where I said what I meant to say was I'm not your actual mom. I can't tell you not to swear or something like that, or you can swear. But I clearly didn't type the word not, and what was sent was I'm your actual mom. It's just God no. And like, I think it's in the Fennec, it was in the Fennec doc, and like Fennec was spreading that around going, Courtney's trying to be a Discord mom. Bro. No, because that doesn't even make any sense. I'm your actual mom. Who would say that to somebody else? Oh, probably Poppy. But yeah, that one still makes me like giggle at night because like, of the fun aunt. No, I'm not. I'm just some fucking nobody on the internet that y'all pay attention to for some reason. Let's get this straight, okay? Who is Courtney? Who is Courtney? Let me hear you say nobody. Say it with me now. Courtney is nobody. That is who I should be to y'all. Fucking zilch. Zip. Nada. You don't know me. I don't know you. It's gonna stay that way. What's it called when there's more than one partners in a romantic relationship and they're all together with each other? That's called a fantasy. No, that is typically the polyamorous goal. That's what the Courtney is nobody. In terms of y'all's lives, I'm nobody. Fuck no, I'm not everyone's mother. I'm not gonna be responsible for nobody. Say it with me now. A pimp named Slickback. A streamer that talks shit. A professional fucking hater. Nobody. Um, you're my makeup tutor. Yeah, I gotta get back. In terms of the makeup thing, I'm going to be when I'm waiting on money to come in, but I'm going to be shooting a video for that soon, which is going to be all about like color matching foundation and concealers and stuff. I'm going to go actually buy some and like show you all the difference between like the different kinds of coverage and like why it does actually pay to it is better to pay more for liquid foundation, especially if you're going for full coverage, because like God, the formulas are so picky when it comes to skin. Ooh, meth. Can you guys not activate my autism, please? Courtney's a person I like to listen to because they make me feel better emotionally. Well, I'm glad I can help. If we weren't parasocial. See, okay, in terms of parasocial relationships, personally, I think the word has a bad connotation, which I think comes from like misunderstanding of it, I guess. Because there's a like 90% of people's relationships in life are fucking parasocial. Okay? Um, as an adult, most of your friends, and I say friends like this because they're not actual friends, they're not going to last very long, they're kind of come and go, and it doesn't really mean anything, it's just part of life. Most of your friends are going to be parasocial because most of them are going to be from your job, okay? So what's this polyamory relationship you want to talk about? Oh yeah, I just got right off topic, didn't I? So yeah, Georgia had asked earlier, what is it called when like more than one person are in a relationship with each other? That's a fantasy. And I say that as a joke because in polyamory, there is a term, called a unicorn. Okay. And they're called unicorns because they don't exist. First of all, that's the joke. And the idea of a unicorn is like you have two people who are in a relationship, but they're polyamorous. and they get a third person into that relationship. So you have a triangle. So each corner is a person, right? You got person A, person B, and person C up here. So person A and person B are in a relationship. Okay. Person A and person C are in a relationship. Person B and person C are in a relationship. Everybody's in a relationship, right? Everybody gets along, everybody's dating everybody, everybody's everybody's partner. That usually never works. And the reason why that usually never works is typically a unicorn is female, because that's what most couples who are opening their marriage, red flag, are looking for. They're looking for a girl, a woman, a girlfriend to add to their marriage. They're looking for a girlfriend for the marriage. And the reason why that never fucking works out is because typically somebody, usually either person C or whoever decided to bring in person C, loses feelings for somebody. They start liking one person more than the other person, and then they inevitably want to break up with the other person, but stay with the first person, and then that causes tension, and inevitably the triad dissolves. And that's why they're called unicorns, because they don't exist. The antithesis of that, the male version of that, is called a narwhal. And they're called narwhals because there are plenty. When it comes to like polyamory, there's a lot of red flags. And majority of the red flags will be a married couple who are looking to fix their marriage by opening it. No, fucking run. Fucking run. Okay? And to me, another red flag is a polyamorous married person on a dating app. I honestly don't care if that dating app is poly people friendly. You're actively searching for a fucking partner. And nobody can give me the whole like, well, I have it set to just looking for friends. You're not on a dating app to look for friends. Okay? Nobody is on a dating app to look for friends. Y'all are just lying to either yourselves or somebody else. So, married couples who are deciding to open their relationship, especially after like 6-7 years of being married, run for the fucking hills, okay? Because what's actually happening in that marriage is someone's fallen out of love with somebody else, they have developed feelings for another person, and now want to bring that other person in so that they can shift the relationship without ever being single. Okay? They're bringing that third person in to push the second person out, to make them feel like their feelings for person C are taking away from them. They are not enough. They should leave. That's somebody bringing another person into their relationship to do the dirty work for them. That is a coward who does not have the executive function to do shit for themselves. Okay? If it ever comes a time when you're in a relationship and you're actively searching for a new partner, leave that relationship. I don't care if you're polyamorous. Well, that's because Sister Wives isn't a polyamorous relationship for you. Sister Wives is polygamy. Polygamy and polyamory are different things. Does some of your hate on poly stuff come from your hate for Lily? No. Most of my hate on internet polyamory comes from watching cheaters use polyamory to manipulate younger people. Usually children, but the 18, 19-year-olds count too. But no, I mean, like, I guess it doesn't really come from, like, it doesn't come from my hate for Lily, because, like, I don't have hate for Lily. Like, I pity her more than anything. I hate what she does to kids. And, like, what she does to people, but I don't have strong enough emotions for that creature to hate it. I just, like, I pity it. I really do. I pity its entire existence. Um, but yeah, my hatred, it's not even hatred, my disapproval of internet polyamory comes from cheaters using polyamory and ruining, like, tarnishing the name of it, essentially. Like completely dismantling the belief of it and using it like in the exact opposite way of how it even fucking is supposed to function. Like if you're using polyamory to weaponize your feelings against for somebody against somebody else, then you're not polyamorous because you clearly don't have the capacity to have those feelings for two people without one affecting the other. Does she still do that? Yep. What's his name have also destroyed their family on Sister Wives. Hailstorm. Well, yeah, but I mean, like, even that's a perfect example. Mr. Man there was all like, I'm polygamous, I'm polygamous, I'm polygamous, until he actually found a woman that he fell in love with, and then let all of his, like, just kind of pushed all of his other fucking wives and let them go and let them leave because he just wanted the one marriage. He wanted to be monogamous and didn't have the balls to say it. So yeah, to me, most people who like if the first thing out of their mouth when on the internet is that they're polyamorous, that's a massive fucking red flag. Um, Another red flag is no polyamorous person is going to try and convince a monogamous person to either be polyamorous, that they are polyamorous, or be in a polyamorous relationship. They're not going to. The people that are doing that are monogamous cheaters. Simple, cut and dry, full fucking stop. I don't care if you disagree with me. If you disagree with me, you are a fucking cheater. Tell me I'm wrong. Like, yeah, most polyamorous people will fall for monogamous people, but we don't fucking go and convince them and gaslight them into something that they're not. Whatever you do, don't read Flowers in the Attic. I know what Flowers in the Attic is. It's pretty hard to like be on the internet, talk about my sister without knowing about Flowers in the Attic. Do you know it's a whole series? It's not just one book, it's a whole series. Polyamory is about consent. Yes, exactly, mishmash potato sash. Polyamory is about consent, it's about conformed consent, and it's about fucking communication. The reason why most polyamorous relationships don't work is, first of all, they call themselves polycules, okay? No self-respecting polyamorous person is actually going to call it a fucking polycule. That is harem fucking mentality, okay? If you need a special terminology for your relationship, you have issues, okay? Where's that? What that? It's a book about incest, Bon. It's a fiction book about a fiction series about incest, essentially. It's like they made the first book into a movie. That's mostly what I know the synopsis from is because I've seen like the plot of the movie through like movie recap YouTube channels because I like those. Um it's vaguely the woman is inheriting some shit, but she's got to move back in with her family, but they don't know, her family doesn't know she has kids, so she has the kids hiding in the attic, and she's like abusing them and starving them, and so like you get a weird fucking almost Coffin of Andy and Lele-esque situation where like because these kids are so neglected and abused and forced into captivity with just each other, they develop a gross psychologically and physically incest relationship. And then the whole series goes on with them. It's not good. Well, okay. In my opinion, it's not good. Not that I've read them because the subject matter is just fucking why. Just to take a break from the polyamorous thing for a second, why would you write that, let alone a whole fucking series? And you can't tell me that it's trauma based. You can't be like, it's someone processing their trauma. Then why was it fiction? Okay? I have read books that people have written about their trauma. They're called fucking memoirs. And they write the truth of what happened. Okay? Have you read A Child Called It? Has anybody heard of that book? That's a whole fucking series too. They're memoirs by a kid who was actually horrifically fucking abused by his mother and no incest. There's no incest in this. There's no sexual abuse at all in this book series. It's all physical, horrible, horrific physical, mental abuse, torture of a child, really. But that's a dude who wrote about his abuse and his trauma in order to help himself and people, and didn't make it a glorified fiction series where everybody's totally okay with it at the end. Kind of seems like Lolita, yeah. Except, see, I've never read Lolita either, and I've got no interest in it. But again, it's just one of those things where, like, if you're talking about my sister online, that book comes up. From what I understand about Lolita, it's written from the predator's perspective, and it's very villainizing of the predator. Like, it's not forgiving. I think that's like the excuse people have made. But still, why did it need to be fiction? My morbid curiosity gets the better of me when I read memoirs. Yeah, same. And it's just, it's because it's taboo, and unfortunately a lot of people are attracted to it. Yeah, but see, that's the thing. If you're attracted to it in fiction, okay, people use fiction to interact with things that they can't interact with in their everyday life, or are afraid to or in a way they're afraid to interact with in their everyday life, okay? This is my opinion. This is not based in like objective fact and everybody needs to agree with me or you're wrong and a bad person. But in my opinion, people use fiction to interact with things that they can't interact with on their everyday life, or to interact with things that they can interact with in their everyday life in a way that they can't do, like, in their everyday life, right? So, like, yeah, oh, the average, like, oh, I'm not a pedophile, I just like Lolita images. Yeah, because you are too afraid to act on it in real life, so you subjugate that with fiction. You subsidize that lack of action with the fiction of it. So in my opinion, if you're going to be writing fiction about a dude kidnapping a girl and then being a pedophile with her, that tells me something about your desire to interact with something in a way you were not comfortable or able to do in your real life, so you did it in a book. Also blame the publishers. The publishers don't read jack shit. Like, you gotta remember, when it gets to, like, in terms of, like, the ladder of publication and, like, of how certain things get released to the public, once you get to a certain point up that ladder, everything's just numbers, right? A great example is, like, the United Health CEO, that dude who got shot and killed. Most people are totally okay with the fact that he got shot and killed because of how many people he essentially killed, or the company has killed. But, like, all of those people are just numbers on a screen to that man. They're not even people at that point. So when you get to, like, publishers and shit, they're not reading the books. They're not even reading synopsises. They're reading numbers. Here's what we can sell based on our polling. So I'm not saying don't blame them, but you gotta remember that there's a certain amount of, like, telephone game where shit gets lost in translation. The editor is where that should have stopped. Whoever was, whatever editor that was sent to and went, yeah, this is good, this will sell, hard drive. The person who wrote it, hard drive. The only people who defend Lolly are freaks. Yeah. The only people who defend Lolly are fucking pedophiles. Like, I don't care. And I don't mean Lolita fashion, like the dresses and but like, there's, like, Lolita fashion is as all-encompassing a term as, like, alternative fashion, okay? And when I say lolly, I don't mean Lolita fashion. I don't mean alternative fashion in any sense from any specific country. I mean little girl does not need to be little girl. We got off topic because somebody brought up my sister. Um, but anyway, I'm gonna have to cut all that out. Cycling back to the polyamory thing. Um, like I was saying earlier, polyamory takes informed consent and a lot of communication, and that is why they don't, like, most polyamorous relationships don't work, okay? People have a hard enough time communicating it properly or even well in a monogamous relationship, okay? People have a hard enough time communicating one-on-one with someone on a daily fucking basis. The second you turn that into a polyamorous relationship, you're not even just multiplying that difficulty, you're exponentially increasing that. We've gotten into exponents at this time. We are to the power of n now. Um, so you take the average person's miscommunication over the grocery list and turn that into who's going to see whose partner which night. And that's like such a much bigger fight. And the problem is that there's a lot of people who use polyamory as an excuse to cheat. So they meet someone in the club because, like, why are you out in the club without your fucking partner to begin with? But they're out in the club. Maybe they're with their boys. Maybe it is their girls. Maybe it is innocent. Somebody comes rumming up on them and they decide, I'm polyamorous. I can hook up with this person and tell my partner about it after. Wrong. You are a cheater. Okay? Polyamorous relationships work like this. Oh shit, I'm interested. I gotta go to the bathroom. I'll be right back. You stay there. Hey, babe. So, no, sorry. Let's go back even a little further. Polyamorous relationships work like this. Hey, sweetie, I'm going to the club with my girls. We're going out dancing and having drinks. Oh, that's cool. You planning on meeting anybody there? I'm like, no, I'm not really planning on it. I didn't, there's nobody coming to meet us up, and I wasn't really expecting to, but, I might be open to it if it happens. Is that okay with you? Yeah, I mean, sure, that's fine. I ain't got nothing planned, and, if you want to stay the night with someone, I could just sleep in and fucking make a mess tonight, clean up tomorrow. Yeah, that sounds good. Go for it. Just let me know. All right, cool. I'll let you know. Or alternatively, no, you know what, babe? I'm not really feeling the greatest today. I'm a little self-conscious. I'd feel a little better if, like, you just went out with your girls and, like, came home tonight, came home to me. And then, a responsible polyamorous partner goes, you know what? I get that. That's totally fucking cool. I will not hook up with nobody. I'm just going to go dance with my girls and bark at anybody who comes near us. And I will see you at like 2 a.m. when the club's closed. And if, conversation A happens, you go to the club and you're just like, well, fuck, there's this guy, this person, and they're cute and they're on me and I think I'm liking this and this might go somewhere. I'm going to go to the bathroom. You stay right there. Hey, babe. So, I know I said I wasn't planning on it, but, like, something happened. I mean, nothing happened, but, like, there's this guy, and, like, I might kind of be interested in hooking up with him. Like, are you okay with that? I mean, yeah, fuck, we talked about it. I told you I can just make a mess and then clean it up tomorrow. Shit, have a good time. Bye. That's polyamorous relationship, okay? Communication. Communication over action every fucking time. And then even further, when person A goes back to that dude in the club, they need to tell them flat up, listen, I'm interested, but I do have a boyfriend. I just called him in to tell him what was going on in the bathroom. We're in that kind of relationship where he's okay. He's cool. He's giving me the green light, but, like, I am attached. I am in a relationship, and, like, this can just be sex, or we can figure out something more if you want it. Informed consent. Communication over everything. And if you don't have that conversation, you're not poly, you're a fucking cheater. Bye, Max. I dated a guy who was poly. He wrote it down before we were dating that he was poly on his introduction website, and I don't care if it's because I'm dyslexic and didn't get that. And then he got another partner, and I cried because he thought he cheated. He did cheat, mishmash. No. I'm sorry. He put it on the introduction to his website, or on the website. It was on his, but no. You can't just, like, hide it in the terms of conditions and be like, well, I told you. Because again, the conversation needs to happen every fucking time. It's not just, we're in a poly relationship, and then 3 weeks later, oh, surprise, I've had a girlfriend for 2 weeks and I just didn't tell you. That's cheating. Because, contrary to internet belief, you can cheat in a polyamorous relationship. The second you stop communicating, the second you act before talking, you're cheating. You're fucking cheating. No ifs, ands, or buts. Don't want to get you on Lily again, but she's poly. She's not. That's the thing. Like, okay, first of all, you can't call yourself polyamorous when your entire experience in relationships is strictly online. Okay? Um, Bitch, I don't even think you know your sexuality at that point, okay? When most of your sexual encounters have been non-consensual, all that is known about you is that you're a rapist, okay? You're not You don't know if you're poly because you ain't had a relationship. You don't know if you're straight because you ain't had a relationship. You don't know if you're a lesbian because you ain't had a relationship. Girl, no. You have the insight to your own fucking, what's the word? What's the word? Identity of the 14-year-old that's still cooking. Your first, your first relationship online. Okay? Lizzie lived in Ontario and she was not leaving Ontario. Yeah, you visited a few times, but your relationship online. You do know your sexuality before you act on it. That's not necessarily true, Alyssa. A lot of there's a like why do you how do you think closet gays happen? There's a lot like fuck. I thought I was straight until I was 28 and realized nope, I'm pansexual and I've always been pansexual. Like there's a lot of people who don't actually know their sexuality before acting on it. There's a lot of people, especially if you're going through any sort of identity crisis, who are just going to slot themselves into whatever category Hollywood or the media or socialization has slotted them into. Like there's that's why there's a lot of like there's a lot of gay people and trans people and like all kinds of persuasions that struggle with their own identity because they spent so long believing that they were something and acting on the fact that they were one way when they were actually another. Like sure something felt off, but they couldn't necessarily label it. But you do know you're into the person you do something with before you do something with them, don't you? Not always. Again, that's the thing. There's a lot of people when they're struggling with their sexual identity who will force themselves into situations they're not comfortable with because they think that's how they're supposed to be. Like think of like the average I hate to use like Hollywood as an example, but I didn't go through like questioning my identity kind of like adolescence, so I kind of have to use media and other people's experiences to draw on. But look at the average media trope of the gay guy who's struggling with his sexuality and has multiple girlfriends but comes out as gay later in life, and you find out he was never into those girls. He was just trying to force himself to be straight. Now, that doesn't mean like nobody knows before acting, but there is a certain amount of guesswork where it's like trying new foods for the like to be honest. No, 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 Alyssa, don't. It's not supposed to make you lose hope. It doesn't mean you don't know yourself. It is very like if you know things about yourself and you know you're not forcing yourself into a situation, you know yourself, okay? You know your feelings best. So if you know something about yourself, trust it. We are talking polyamory, just in and out. Um, there's also the fact that like you can be one way at one point and that can change. Like if in your soul you know and think and feel that you are a lesbian, that is perfectly fucking valid, and bitch, who am I to say you aren't a lesbian? It's also perfectly fucking valid if in 30 years you decide I'm not actually a lesbian, I'm straight. I don't support sexist polyamory. Okay, mishmash, that's not polyamory, that's polygamy. Polygamy and polyamory are not the same thing. Polygamy is not sexist polyamory. Polygamy is polygamy. Polygamy is the belief that one person can have multiple partners, but those partners only have the one husband or wife. Polyamory is equal on all sides. I same cosmic, but circling back to what I was talking about, like the human experience is a very individual thing, okay? So what's true for one person is not true always going to be true for another person, and what's true for one person is not always going to be true for that person, okay? We're fucking multi-celled organisms, we're very complex organisms, we grow and change all the time. So especially when you're young, okay, it's like I was saying earlier, it's like trying new foods, okay? Your sexual identity, your gender identity is like a lot like political beliefs too. It's It's like trying new foods, okay? If all you know is the one food that's been given to you, you're not even going to think to try new foods. And if all you ever know is the one food that's given to you, you might be scared to try new foods. You might not even like the food that's given to you, but because it's familiar and it's what everyone's been giving you, you force yourself to eat it. Maybe one day you try one of those new foods and you decide, I don't like that, it's not for me. That's fine, that's valid. I have gone down on women. I don't like it, so I don't do it. I found out I didn't like it by doing it. Is it the end of the world? No. Am I gonna go get mad at that girl because like I found out I'm not into eating box? No. Am I gonna therefore insult all women's genitals because it's not my cup of tea? No. I just don't like it. It ain't for me. Exactly, Georgia. And like the thing about when you're a kid, when you're young, when you're not even just a kid, just when you're still pubescent, when you're still cooking, okay, your experiences are limited and majority of your worldview is shaped on what you see in your life. And that's typically your parents and the media you watch. I hate when the emotions are taking me reading chat. Um, so it's the normal, it's just how things go. It's the human experience is so fucking individual. It's not going to be the same for everybody. It's going to change all the fucking time, and that's perfectly fine. And you don't have to narrow yourself into one label at any fucking age. Like, I had so many friends in high school tell me that they were all lesbians or they were all bisexual who are straight. There is such a thing as going through a phase. I know a lot of people like use the term, they're going through a phase as an insult or it's not a phase, mom, is a meme, but you do go through phases and there's nothing wrong with them. It's perfectly natural. You're trying on different hats. You're figuring out who you are. A certain amount of figuring out who you are is done through doing. If I kissed a gender and liked it, that means I like that gender, right? Not necessarily. Could be that you just like kissing. Could be that to you, a mouth is a mouth. You like the act of kissing more than you care who those lips are attached to. Case in point, I won't date a girl. I won't engage sexually with a girl, but I'll make out with a girl because I like making out. Doesn't mean I like girls, because to be honest, I don't, unless they're. Unless, I'm penis sexual, okay? But yeah, I'll make out with anybody who's down to make out because, like, it's making out's fun. And that's the thing. For some people, kissing a gender and liking it means they like that gender. For other people, it just means they like kissing. I like fictional men too much. We all do, Cinnamons, and that's because they're not real, so they can't actually hurt us. Like, and at the same time, like, nothing also doesn't, like, nothing has to mean anything. You dated a girl in high school, that doesn't have to mean anything other than you dated a girl in high school. For all you know, that girl's not even a girl, so. Sometimes I have a little imposter syndrome because I find women way harder to hit on than men. Like, I'm pretty sure I'm still bi, but women are beautiful and they scare me. Listen, being interested in something doesn't necessarily mean acting on that interest. Like, you don't have to. I know this kind of goes like a little against what I said about like Lily. Like, if you've not had the experience to know, like, you don't necessarily have to do it to know, but there's a better chance of knowing through experience than just someone telling you shit online. You don't know what you are, that's valid. It doesn't matter. That's the same. That's the other thing. Is it? And I don't mean it doesn't matter as in like nobody cares. It doesn't matter. It doesn't matter in the sense of like you get to dictate that always and forever. So if you don't know, perfectly fine. If you know, perfectly fine. If you're more than one thing, perfectly fine. If you're still figuring it out, perfectly fine. Because it's yours to dictate. So it literally doesn't matter what you decide. because it's only you get to decide it. You just have to have poker corn under the shed of the gender you like, right? See, that's the other thing is like, in terms of like sexuality and gender identity and sexual identity and shit, you like, not everybody sees gender in terms of sexual attractiveness, you know? Like, in terms of like demisexual and demi-romantic people, it's more about like the connection you have with the person than the physical body that that person is in, right? So like one thing does not necessarily always mean the other for somebody. Like, you making out with a girl might be something you like because you like girls. Me making out with a girl might be something I like because I like making out. Joe Schmo making out with a girl might be something he likes because the girl he's making out with is just a genuinely good person and like really generous and kind, and that's why, and those aspects are why it makes making out with them pleasurable. Like there's so many different things to it. I just, firstly, I've been unlabeled my whole life. My first kiss was with a girl. I kissed a girl, I liked it. You forget, I come from the generation where most of us were making out with our best friends as practice so that we weren't embarrassed when it came to kissing boys. Quite literally, I come from the generation of like, oh, you've never kissed anyone? You don't know how? Do you want me to teach you? Like, do you want to practice? Like, yeah, like, swear to God, most of our sleepovers were only girls, and we were playing Spin the Bottle, 7 Minutes in Heaven, and Truth or Dare. We're all daring each other to kiss each other, because, like, it's safe practice. I'm as straight as a pole. The pole is slightly bent, but let's ignore the small curve. Um, but yeah, back to polyamory for a minute. Like people like Lily and like Poppy, they're not polyamorous. They're just fucking unwanted, unlovable cheaters, okay? Because it doesn't matter. You could give like either of them the perfect partner who dotes on them hand and foot, has a trust fund, is a nepo baby, has all the money to pay all their bills, has property. They get to do nothing but just be waited on hand and foot, and whatever whimsy their little heart desires they get. They still gonna look for more. They still gonna cheat. They still gonna say they're poly. They're still gonna try and have a polycule. Because they just want the chase. They want to cheat. They want to manipulate. They want to lie. They want to fool people because fooling people makes them feel smart. God, I wish I was a millennial. No, you don't, Nullbird. Gen X is the generation to be. The practice of boys back pre-transition because they weren't gay and didn't want to do it proper. Also, are you poly? Yes, I am poly, Alyssa. I've identified as poly for 10 years now. My marriage was a polyamorous relationship. We did more swinging and whatnot than we did dating because again, it's messy and it doesn't fucking work. And like, he tried to have a girlfriend, and how that happened was I came home from bringing his kid to school, and he went, I have a girlfriend now. And I went, we were talking to people? I didn't fucking know. And what it was this fucking bitch in Montreal decided she had enough of her at the time boyfriend beating the fuck out of her, so she sent like nudes to my boyfriend to be like, save me. That's what happened. They tried to bullshit me going, no, she's modeling and she wanted my opinion on some pictures. That's why she's in her fucking underwear, right? The fact that Poppy cheated on one of her partners despite them being poly says all you need to know. Well, that's the thing. Like, Poppy's not poly. She's just a fucking cheater. Like, Poppy is not even a person who would be happy in any sort of healthy relationship. Lily's the same fucking way. You put that person, those two in a healthy, functioning relationship, and they're gonna sabotage it because that's not what they want. They want the thrill of selling themselves to somebody. They want to the mask up. They want to fool and deceive somebody into thinking they're something that they're not. Speaking of different generations, my brother and I had a fit last night because our dad told us that he and mom bought a house for $30,000. Yep. Do you know millennials are actually Gen Y? That is technically what our generation is. It's Gen Y, but we've just dubbed ourselves millennials. Oh, the life-size Gardevoir plushie. Yeah, somebody dropped that in my Discord server and was like, well, we know it's on Lily's Christmas wish list. I don't even know what I am because I wouldn't cheat because it was sex, but like romance and kissing and maybe mouth stuff, but not actual stuff. Well, see, the thing, Alyssa, cheating is more than just sex. You can emotionally cheat, you can romantically cheat, you can cheat without having sex. The phrase "eatin' ain't cheating" is a lie. It is. Cheating involves the moment where you're lying to your partner about what you're doing with somebody else. At least in my opinion. Kissing the homies is something all guys should do, to be honest. Listen, considering, like, I know from experience that, like, us girls were practicing with each other because, like, we didn't want to embarrass ourselves with the guys. I ain't gonna hold it against no guys who were doing the same thing because you know what? We appreciate effort. Us women appreciate effort. But, like, what am I? Whatever you want to be, Alyssa. That's the thing. The human experience, sexuality and gender identity and stuff like that is such a fluid fucking thing. You can just simply be somebody who enjoys certain sexual acts, but not others. So nothing happened because he got turned down, right? Oh, it's fine because nothing happened. Okay, but if she said yes, what's my thoughts on Lily's partner? I got thoughts on Michaela, but they're not kind or sympathetic. But I'm biased because Michaela has like literally drawn depictions of my fucking abuse. Oh, well, thank you. Yeah, that's guyhood. This is a joke. Yeah, I don't got nothing nice to say about Michaela, but again, I'm biased. Very, very heavily biased because of the fact that she has like literally did her, well, Michaela's drawn all of Poke Madhouse. And Poke Madhouse literally has like Gardevoir admitting to Lily that Gardevoir raped Lily in her sleep, Comic Lily in her sleep when she was 14, and then Comic Lily gets a door lock. Considering I got a door lock at 14 to keep Lily out of my room from raping me, and then Comic Lily goes and apologizes to her rapist. Yeah, that's really a little too close to Michaela drawing me forgiving Lily for raping me for me to have any rational feelings about her whatsoever. But I am a mature enough individual to realize that my feelings are not rational. Could you do a tutorial on hair dyeing? Kind of in the vein of makeup. I mean, yeah, I could. And like at the same time, there is also the standalone fact that Michaela also took her clothes off on camera in front of Lily's child audience. Twice. So, I'm sorry. No amount of gaslighting from any partner whatsoever should make you strip naked in front of children. It wasn't a child audience. Yes, it was. Yes, it fucking was. And considering, Michaela, you've been around since Ginger was 14 and sending fucking shit to Lily, you know it was a child audience. Yeah. Wait, Michaela went fully nude on camera? Yes! Yes. Yes. Lily had one stream where she and Michaela both took their shirts off. And then she had another stream where she and Michaela got fully naked, and all Lily was wearing was this fucking cultural appropriation necklace that she said she totally got from her dead grandpa. Yes, Ginger was 14 when she started asking Lily about her bra size and telling Lily she wanted to like hook up with her and like asking Lily if she got the nude art that Ginger had sent to her.
I need fire.
Yes, yes. There's fucking screenshots going around of like Lily even saying, "Yeah, you got to be 18 before I let you in the inner circle first." No, she got encouraged. It was Ginger, one of Lily's exes, and also for a former grooming victim. They dated for a hot minute. She was in the polycule. Oh, one of Lily's avid defenders. They dated for a little bit. She was in the polycule, and then they broke up, I guess. But Ginger sticks around. No, she wasn't Ginger. Or no, she wasn't Ryu. She's still a little sycophant. Lily literally groomed Ginger from 14. Like, not only did Lily not discourage Ginger from like trying to sexually engage with her, she would because Ginger would send her asks on Tumblr and ask her like sexually involved questions, and Lily would respond to them and put them up on her Tumblr. So not only was she not just flat out saying stop this, she was basically sending the message, keep doing this, it's okay, this is something I want to engage in. Do I feel sorry for Ginger? Well, yeah, no 14-year-old deserves to be fucking groomed by my pedophile sister. Sounds like Ginger's in denial. Most grooming victims are. Like that's kind of the whole that's the whole point of a groomer doing the fucking groundwork that they do is so that when people come and go come to the grooming victim and go, this isn't right, this isn't okay, like somebody shouldn't be doing this with you. The groomer's already put the work in going, no, 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 it's perfectly fine. It's because like nobody else gets it. It's because you're more mature. We have a special bond. You're just special. Like they don't get it. Like all that work of grooming somebody is literally done so that when somebody goes, hey, yo, this shouldn't be happening, the grooming victim goes, no, it's fine. What are you talking about? You just don't get it, okay? You just don't understand our bond. That is, that's literally grooming. The soup recipe. It's like when that fucking Fennec doc was going around and Fennec was trying to accuse me of grooming Bonneberry. There was a bunch of people who approached Bond and was like, listen, we're concerned, we want to talk about it. And Bond was just like, nope, nope, no, everything's fine. And I had to be like, dude, you can't react like that. You can't just blow them off exactly like a grooming victim would. You have to fucking talk to people. You have to listen to what they're worried about because it might be that they're misunderstanding something. Like there's no secrets. There's nothing to fucking hide. You don't have to just go la 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 la. I'm not listening. Like you do have to sit there and be like, well, if you're concerned, fuck, what are you concerned about? Same as with me. Like I fucking when people when I had heard that people were like going to Bond and going approaching Bond about the fact they thought I was grooming them, I even reached out. I'm like, listen, I would like to know what it is that you think that I am doing because like if there was something I was doing that I wasn't realizing was crossing the line or seeming like it was crossing the line, like yeah, I wanted to address it. I wanted to like address myself and my own actions. Yeah, well, I mean, at the same time, Bond, like, it's fine. I went and listened to a bunch of people and I let them fucking sit and I sat there and I let people tell me, look, this is a thing you're doing that I don't agree with. And like, to be honest, it was as simple as like a conversation to be like, well, here's some of the background info that like, yeah, I don't just go blasting on the internet because it's not my info to share. Man, that shit warranted being an asshole. No, it really didn't, Cinnamons. Like, that's the thing. Like, okay, because like, imagine from the perspective of somebody who is currently being groomed, right? And your friends are coming to you saying, we don't think this is okay. We're worried. We're concerned. You know, if you're just la 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 la, I'm going to be an asshole because I don't want to listen to what you're saying. That is like, that makes people more concerned than it eases their concerns. You know what I mean? Like, whether you are an actual grooming victim or not, but like, from the perspective of somebody who thinks their friend is being groomed or someone they care about is being groomed or like being preyed on, that is going to make them feel more worried than it is less worried. Like, you're really, like, if that is a moment where you catch more flies with honey than vinegar, and just, if you're not actually concerned and you're not worried, then you will be willing to sit down and have a conversation about it, in my opinion. Like, as same as from my perspective, if I'm not concerned that what I'm doing is wrong, or that like I'm doing the things that people are accusing me of, then yeah, I've got no problem sitting down and having a conversation about it because I know that's not what I'm doing. At least with the damn document that was put out. I mean, so it got fucking taken down and Fennec disappeared off the internet and like uh, jack shit really fucking happened other than like Malcolm trying to tell me off on in the middle of stream where he's like, I'm going to publicly disinvite you from my Discord server. It's like, honey, I already stayed out of your Discord server because you have people who financially support pedophiles in there, so I'm good. He did delete his account, Cinnamons. That's the funny thing. Did you get rid of the fly? Nope. He just showed up. He just buzzed by my face. Okay, if I vent real quick, because my cheater ex used to always give me a hard time for being poly when we argued mono relationship, but he literally cheated on me, so I felt totally gaslit. Oh, God. That's one of those situations where he's giving you a hard time because he's the one doing it. Do we hate Ant, or is he cool? Listen, you guys feel however you want about Anthony. That's my rule on that. Y'all make your own, form your own fucking opinions. We are not a collective. We don't do nothing together. Kibosh and that. Who is Courtney? Courtney is nobody. That's right. So y'all form your own opinions about everybody, myself included. I personally don't like them. I got reasons to. I got nothing against people who personally like them. They must have their reasons to, and that don't change nothing for me. It don't change nothing about my life. You liking Anthony does not change a single thing he's done to me. So that's right, Alyssa. Nobody. See you in a bit, Cinnamons. So yeah, everybody feel how they want to about people. Aunt, Cy, Lily, Poppy, me. I don't fucking care. This is Anthony. No, it's just it's another YouTuber. I've got issues with him because he likes to talk on my mental state and he likes to make grand fucking assumptions on shit he doesn't know about and then act like some great slight has been happened to him when he talks to his community tab about being worried for me but doesn't ever tell me. But again, those are my personal reasons for not liking him. I got high last night for to take my meds, so I ended up crawling around on the floor, stoned as fuck, dealing with the child lock. Jesus, Nullbird. Literally stayed fully mono because that was the boundaries of the relationship. Interesting how he didn't stick to that, but he gave me shit for it, isn't it? That's kind of what like cheaters will do, though. Especially serial cheaters. Like, in my opinion, if you're in a relationship where everything is like relatively fine, and then out of the blue you're being accused of cheating, it's a high possibility that your has started cheating on you, or has been cheating long enough that they're ready for the relationship to end. So now they want you to be the bad guy. So they're gonna go like they're going to gaslight you into thinking that you're cheating or that you're gonna cheat, so that you get to the point of like, well, if I'm gonna be getting in trouble for this shit all the time, I'm just gonna go fucking do it already. I hate the child thingy on the bottom. The child lock. Yeah, that's so like your little grabby hands can't, your little grabby raccoon hands can't be getting at everything. Because pills and candy look too much the same. Yeah, no, God, no. Don't ever put up with that. If you know you're not cheating and someone's calling you a cheater, just ditch their ass. Alyssa, how could you? Nullbird, get yourself a daily pill organizer. They're a lot easier to open. I need my pills! Something that's really funny though is my entire marriage, my ex-husband was polyamorous. Okay. Sticking point for him. He was polyamorous. And I struggled to accept that I was back and forth for a good while. But towards the end of the marriage, I had solidified myself in the realization that no, I'm polyamorous. I have the capacity to have feelings for multiple. Yeah, the whole room's jiggling because you guys are on a bed and it's wiggly. Um, so yeah, I have the capacity to have like feelings for more than one person at once without one having to act on them, or two, one taking away from the other, right? And I told him this. I was like, listen, we've been in this relationship for a long time and calling myself monogamous. Does the bong have a name? No, but she should. And I told him, I was like, yeah, you know what? I've decided that it's time to accept that I am polyamorous, and I'm gonna fully embrace this and like all this shit. And um, his response was, I don't I don't want a polyamorous relationship anymore. I want a monogamous relationship. Excuse me, sir. He was the whole like 7, 8 years we were together. He's poly, 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 he's poly. I go, cool, I'm poly too. Let's do this. He goes, no, 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 no. I want you all to myself. Ah, so we're not poly. We just like to cheat. Did he cheat on me? Yes. Not a lot. I mean, like, I consider the me coming home to him going, I have a girlfriend, and finding out there's pictures sent, consider that cheating. I consider any sort of romantic conversations happening without my consent and knowledge to be cheating. I consider any sort of romantic action or like physical connection action that is considered either sexual or romantic happening without my consent or my knowledge to be cheating. So yeah, he cheated on me a few times, and I put up with it. So I was young, dumb, and stupid. But it's fine. Like technically, it's all even because like I did technically cheat on him right before I left him because like I knew I was leaving him. I knew the marriage was over, and Opportunity came knocking. I didn't say no. I'm not condoning cheating. Did I tell him that I cheated? No. I already left him. I didn't need to add anymore. I mean, until he decided to pull the fucking. I left him. I was like, we're done. We're over. Don't ever fucking contact me again. Would you consider accidentally flirting cheating? My acoustic ask cannot tell if I'm not. Okay, no, I don't consider flirting to be cheating. Um, Now there's a difference between flirting with somebody and coming on to somebody, okay? Coming on to somebody typically involves like physical touch and a different energy. People casually flirt all the fucking time. My boyfriend casually flirts with his favorite bartender at the bar he goes to because it's just the banter they have. It's just the back and forth. It's just what it is. It's just considered flirty because it's a little more friendly than friendly. And I'm fine with that. I don't consider flirting to be cheating behavior because it's just a part of human interaction sometimes. It's just playful banter that people have with somebody that's not quite a romantic relationship, but it's not quite a platonic relationship. The sort of like, maybe if I were single, I would, but we're staying within like appropriate bounds here. And I don't consider that to be cheating because it happens a lot. And there's also the fact that what you may consider flirting, I may not consider flirting, right? Um, Funnily enough, when I was younger, I had to be told that every time I stole a guy's hat, put it on my head, and ran away giggling, I was flirting. I didn't know that. What did you think you were doing, Courtney? I don't know. It just seemed like a good idea at the time. I think the person cheated first. It isn't morally equivalent, personally. Well, two wrongs don't make a right, and to be honest, I don't believe anyone should stay with a cheater. Um, I don't believe that once that trust is broken, it can never be gotten back. Because sure, you can say that you're going to let it go and you're going to move on, but as the person who was cheated on, you are going to second guess every single pause that happens in your relationship going forward. It doesn't matter if they've stopped cheating or if they've continued cheating. Your brain is always going to be on the lookout for signs of them cheating. You are always going to be like, he took too long to answer, he's texting somebody else again. He took an extra shift at work, he's going to see somebody else again. You're never, ever, ever going to get over that. And in my opinion, it's better for everybody to just dissolve the relationship. No, it's not the same, but like the answer to somebody cheating is not to cheat back, it's just to leave. Do you think it's okay to get with someone you know is a cheater, cheated in a different relationship? Rule of thumb, Alyssa. If they will cheat with you, they will cheat on you. So just go by that. Like, if you got with them through cheating, they're absolutely going to cheat on your ass. Now, if I see a pretty person, I shall steal their hat and run away cackling. So, some guys hate it. Not all guys are down for it. I've never done it to a girl, so I don't know. But not all people are down for it. Some people absolutely hate it. Another one that I used to do when I was younger, like my flirting as a teenager, it was always hat related, because like dudes always wore hats when I was a teen. Um, Heard from June, this video that you plan to take legal action. How's the whole legal action against your family coming along? I haven't even started that because I have a lot of things. There's a long checklist of doing that. There's not really much of a rush for me because there's no statute of limitations on it. The thing is, in terms of suing my family, I have to get doctors, my own doctors, because I have to establish my history, essentially. The fact that, like, these things did happen to me, and I'm not lying about them, and it has affected my life in, like, certain ways, because, like, I need all that to be able to go to court with. And then I need to essentially get a lawyer and like file paperwork, and it's going to be expensive and it's going to be time consuming. And at the end of the day, it's not even going to be like for them to be financially responsible because they don't have jack shit. Like my parents barely have anything to fucking pay me for. No, no, all of them. My parents, Lily, Cameron, it's a lot of them. Once I'm able to do it. Um, The thing is, like, what like the whole point of me suing them, going after them in court, because I can't go after them criminally, isn't even to like get money from them specifically. It's to establish that this happened to me. It was their fucking doing, and it's had such a and it's had this amount of negative impact on my life that I need to be compensated for it. Like, they need to, like, somebody needs to do something about it, because, like, that's just, it's because my BPD technically classifies me for disability. If I go through the process of getting on disability, then, like, uh, then essentially my parents and my siblings disabled me. And then proving that in court not only holds them liable legally for it, it also establishes through through the courts that I am actually a victim, like, of something criminal, but not necessarily something that I'm going to get retribution for. So then that qualifies me for victim services, and victim services are where most of the financial compensation is going to mostly come from. But victim services also gets me like contact with like doctors and like a lot of other help and like stuff, because I'm a victim of a fucking crime. That's going to cost Mark a lot. Uh, Disability money's good. He might be good there. It's not. It's disability out here is not something you can fucking live off of. Just curiosity, what specifically can you sue them for? For my rape. I can sue Lily for raping me in my sleep. I can sue Cameron for raping me as a toddler, and I can sue my parents for their inaction leading to my rapes. Like, that's that's the thing about law that a lot of people don't. I don't think a lot of people realize. Whereas, like, you will be criminally prosecuted for rape. That's the government prosecuting you, okay? Like, if I were to be like raped like tomorrow, and I call the cops, there was a court case, dude goes to court and is found guilty. That's the government prosecuting him. That's not me. That's not me charging him with rape. I'm just the victim that the government is prosecuting on behalf of. I can still turn around and sue that guy and sue that person who raped me in civil court. Like, that's the thing I think a lot of people don't seem to realize is, not only can, like, you go to court for criminal charges, but then you can be like sued for those criminal charges. Like, it was proven in court that you did this, now pay me. Can I sue someone for that as a minor? No, I think your parents would have to. Okay, so the thing is, in terms of lawsuits, and any lawyer will tell you this, like, you can't just run into court and sue somebody, okay? Because it costs money to file that paperwork, it costs money to go to court, lawyers cost money, court costs money, right? On both sides. Like, it costs money for you to file the paperwork and go to court, it costs the person you're suing to respond to the paperwork and go to court. So, like, there's always a chance, like, yeah, you can sue someone, take them to court, and court rules in your favor, but if that person doesn't have the funds to pay you, you're not getting paid. The government's not going to make something out of nothing, right? That's why it's important in terms of that. It's like, you got to kind of manage expectations. Not every country has victim services. Canada has a very good, like, victim services programs. The person who told me about it was actually a counselor, had in a homeless shelter, who had been through very similar things as I had. And she went through victim services when she was younger in regards to her family and the shit that happened to her. And she got 14 fucking grand. What if I don't want to tell my parents, or I don't know the person who did it? Well, you can't sue somebody you don't know. Like, you need somebody's legal name and address to have them served with paperwork. You can't just go file court paperwork for a username. Just out of curiosity, how old are you, Alyssa? You said once you turn 16, so I'm guessing like probably Cinnamon's age. But yeah, no, you need somebody's legal government name and residence to sue them. Because like literally like someone has to go like and hand that in person. You can't just drop off like court documents in a mailbox. They have to be not a username. It happened IRL. Well, yeah, you need the person's name, um, name and address, because like that court paperwork has to then be hand delivered in person to the person like who you're suing. That's why Anthony had to contact me for Lily's address and full legal name so that he could have her served. Oh, you're about to turn 16th on the 26th. Oh, happy almost birthday. All right, what time is it? I gotta grocery shop today. I gotta go soon, I think. We got half an hour? We got 15 minutes, and then I gotta cut the stream. And then somehow turn it into a video. But yeah, like, there's a big difference in my opinion between like polyamory and internet polyamory, aka poly. Like, it seems like everybody and their dog who is on the internet or social media is polyamorous, and yet they all seem to have a track record of not having any long-term relationships at the same time. Like, that's another red flag just in somebody in general. If all your relationships can't last longer than 3 months or under a year, if that's your track record is just honeymoon phase relationships only, you're not, you, you shouldn't be in relationships, let alone be calling yourself polyamorous. I think internet dating is dead. I think internet dating is the dumbest shit ever. No offense, but I mean, okay, hang on, let me preface this. I don't have a lot of dating experience because I've been pretty good at long-term relationships. What'd you miss, Bridget? We were almost ending the stream. You have missed the entire stream. Can internet poly lifestyle be ethical? No. Like, okay, so in my opinion, all this is my opinion, guys. So like, take it with a grain of salt. I am nobody at the end of the day. Throw the whole thing out, like Bo says. Keep parts of it. I don't fucking care. Call me insane, manic, clearly traumatized. I just whatever you want. Um, in my opinion, internet only relationships, internet based relationships are doomed to fail. Absolutely doomed to fail. For the same reason that seeking a partner is more often than not doomed to fail. Because again, when you're on the internet, you're not being authentic, especially on social media. Add that into a dating app or any sort of like social media app. Everybody's putting on a front. Everybody is selling themselves to some degree or another. So yeah, the relationships that you get into online that are mostly based off of selling a part of yourself, like the idea of it to somebody, that's going to be doomed to fail because inevitably the performance is going to falter, or inevitably someone's going to get bored of the performance and want a different one. And insane, manic, and whatever, I think whatever I want. I think I did that right. Exactly. You did. Like, more often than not, you'll see people who become friends on the internet. Those are the ones that turn into actual friendships are those people who then go on to meet in real life. And they have relationships that are not on the internet because like then they get to be authentic and real and just there's power in being able to just sit in silence with a person. And that's not something you can do on the internet. I also personally think that it's a bit of a red flag if somebody constantly needs to be in a relationship. If you or someone like or whatever, like whatever, just if somebody can't just be with themselves and needs to have a partner to have worth, you shouldn't be in a relationship. You got some self-worth issues that you need to work on before you go worrying about a relationship, in my opinion. Because if you can't just sit alone in silence with yourself, what makes you think someone else is going to be able to do that and be comfortable? If you can't be comfortable being alone with you, why would you, like, how would someone else be comfortable being alone with you? You know what I mean? You gotta like there really is this like sentiment too. You gotta love yourself before you love anybody else. You don't even have to love yourself, okay? You have to like yourself before anybody's gonna like spending time with you. Because if you don't like yourself, it fucking shows. Even when you're trying to mask or put on a front, it shows. People can like smell it almost. So yeah, when people start like internet dating, like people like Lily and Poppy who don't have regular relationships with tangible people who they can like see the direct impact of their actions on, those aren't real relationships because like you're not even interested in the person, you're interested in the fiction you've created around it, you know? The parasocial nature of online relationships means I'm projecting a good portion of our interactions onto you because when you say that's fine, I may take that as, oh, that's fine. You may mean it as, yeah, that's fine. And we're both operating on like both of those facts being true at the same time, right? So like there's a certain amount of relationships that are strictly online and have very, very, very little in real life interactions that are doomed to fail because they're just fake. It's just role play. The world's worst role play. So yeah, any marriage that's started through YouTube comments and ends with a 3 year long stint of not even living in the same country as your wife, that's not a marriage. That's not a relationship. That's an addiction. Like I've lived with both of my partners for like multiple years. I've not only been in the same country as my partners, but province and even household. Saw an old community post of yours that said "moo bitches." That I mentioned my family naming convention. If it has four legs, it's a horsey, and the noise it makes. Nice. Okay, what about friends though? Well, I mean the friendships online, they're kind of the same. They're a little similar. Like when they're all based online and there's not really a lot of like in real life extensive interaction, again, it's just performative. Well, it's not just performative, but a lot of it is performative. Because like think about it. You've got friends that are strictly online that you only talk to when the mood strikes. You only talk to for certain topics, right? That's a very self-serving kind of relationship in a sense. And like if you two were to just sit at a coffee shop for 3 hours and be restricted from talking about the one thing you typically talk about, you're probably not going to last too long in that situation because you're not really friends, you know? It's all just like it's hard to break it down in layman's terms. My brain is everywhere. I also have to go to the bathroom. I will be right back. Oh, my fucking knee. Oh, my knees. I'm old. Okay, so what was I saying about friendships, online friendships? And actually, I was just thinking about it while I was in the bathroom. It ties back to what I was saying about parasocial relationships earlier. Most online friendships are parasocial. But that's not a bad thing, okay? Like most friendships you'll have in adulthood are parasocial because they're typically going to be coworkers. And the reason why coworker friendships are mostly parasocial is because the only thing that's making you friends to begin with is your proximity to each other. The only reason you started talking is because you share a space regularly. So you take away that shared space, and you'll find more often than not that um, the friendship will dissolve because the parasocial nature of it has gone. And because typically those friendships don't really delve in anything deeper other than the surface level thing that brought you together, that usually being work in real life, but like it could be fandom spaces online or just like content creators, whatever, comment sections, threads on Reddit, that kind of stuff. Um, no, I lost my train of thought again. This fucking stoner. You could say that about school friends though. Thank you. Thank you. Actually, Alyssa, you got me back on track. It is very much like friends at school. Like, sure, most of you, like, whoever's in school right now or anybody who remembers going through school, you probably had a lot more friends, like a lot of friends in school that you don't even talk to anymore. You're probably thinking of like, oh, Jesus, wait, there's that one girl. Whatever happened to her? Man, I thought we were really close. We were friends. You were friends because it was because of the proximity. It was a parasocial relationship. They're not always negative. A parasocial relationship doesn't have to be negative. It just implies that the very nature of what brought you to the relationship together is very surface level, right? And the only time that that gets negative is when somebody on either end forgets that it's surface level, okay? Once you start treating a parasocial relationship like it's something deeper, when the groundwork for something deeper was never put in, that's when it's a negative parasocial relationship. That's when, like, when people start preying on the fact that it's parasocial, that's when it gets bad. But like it can be easily said the fact that you guys comment on my stuff and I respond to it, and you know, you guys will ask me things like, what do we think about Ant? It could be argued, and like it possibly not even argued. It's just it could be it's easily stated we're in a parasocial relationship right now. I'm in a parasocial relationship with all the fans that I interact with because the nature of why we're even interacting is very surface level, right? Like, I don't know much about you guys. You guys only know what I've shown and told you, which I know everybody thinks is like, I know it. Like, Courtney shows her entire life online and shares all of her drama online because I talk about my family. Not even half of it. Oh my God, there's so many things about me that you guys don't know and probably never will know because it's just not fucking pertinent. In a relationship with Courtney? Listen, the word relationship means a vast amount of different things. Okay? You're in a relationship. Well, you're not in a. You have a. We're not in a relationship. No, no, I don't like the connotation of that word. You have a relationship with Courtney, and that relationship is parasocial in nature. Just like you have a relationship with your parents, it's platonic and it's familial in nature. You have a relationship with your friends, it's, platonic in nature. So no, you are not in a relationship with Courtney. You have a relationship with Courtney that is parasocial in nature. Yeah, well, that's different. But, like, yes, you can absolutely, but see, Mark, that is different. You can absolutely take a parasocial relationship or a surface level relationship and, evolve it into a tangible, actual friendship or like deeper relationship of like a platonic or familial or romantic sense in any way, shape, or form. That is absolutely something you can do. Just because something starts surface level doesn't mean it can't go surface level. The problem is when you forget that it is surface level. Relationships is a way of interacting with each other. Yes, yes. You have an interaction with a person that is defined as a relationship. Where do I put the relationship with Courtney when I'm sleeping? Preferably in a well-ventilated and heated area, not in direct sunlight, and water daily. Because, like, everybody's relationship starts surface level. All friendships start surface level. You like blue, I like blue, we're best friends now. And then, through like a couple of play dates, you realize not only do we also like blue, but we also like Bluey and Blue's Clues, and, it goes deeper. Plus, I like you talking about how bad my sister is. She's so stupid, too. I don't know, I got some sort of toxic sibling joy out of shit talking the dumbass. She makes it so fucking easy, too. Plus, it's my role. It's my job, okay? I'm a sister. It's literally my job. Do I use fertilizer? I don't want to cover you in shit. uh, One day you're gonna be a special education teacher? That's cool. There's also how much you can tell each friend. You can tell a real friend surface stuff and not get beyond that. And you can tell personal things with an internet friend. Yeah, Georgia, but that's, in my opinion, that stems from like lack of communication, like abilities, to be honest. Like, if you're more comfortable having like a serious conversation with a stranger online than you are with a friend, that tells me a little more about you than anybody else. That tells me that you might be avoiding the conflict that comes from facing that conversation not behind the anonymity of the internet. And like, there's not always anything wrong with that. Like, sometimes that just is the case. Like, that's why like suicide helplines and all kinds of shit exist, because sometimes people just do have an easier time telling a stranger. Sometimes people find comfort in the parasocial relationship, like between like a therapist or like a helpline worker or something. That surface level sort of takes a bit of burden off of it. But the thing to remember in those instances is, just because you've said something deeper doesn't mean the relationship isn't parasocial, right? So, just because you are sharing something really heavy and it's a very integral moment for you and you need to get it off your chest, but it needs to be with someone who doesn't know you very well, that could come off as like that could be very, very important and emotionally like heavy to you. But for the other person, it could just be a Tuesday. You know what I mean? Like, to you, it's a big heavy weight being lifted. To them, it's, oh, yeah, okay. That's a wall of text I'm not actually going to read, but happy to help. So, the fact that you've divulged, said something deep doesn't necessarily make it deep, the relationship. Because, again, the fact that it's online and you can't physically see the impact of your words on somebody and the impact of your actions, you're mostly projecting their response. Does that make sense? Alyssa, I really hope you're being facetious on purpose. Tell me you understand the phrase. It's to him it's a Tuesday. Sin God damn it, everybody. Sin's peak is acting up. Alright, I think that means it's time to end stream. Yeah, I went a little longer than I meant to. Um okay, I said 15 minutes and I went 20. Okay, I have adulting to do. I have to go grocery shopping and then cook. So I'm going to stop my recording right there. Cinnamons, go run around outside and get your zoomies off somewhere else. When are you gonna stream next? It seems like you guys want me to stream again soon. Tomorrow I start deep cleaning the house, and Tuesday I'm going mug painting. Wednesday, I'll try and stream Wednesday. Okie dokie. Thanks for coming, everybody. Smooch. Go touch grass. Have a good time. Have a good day, night, evening, wherever you are. Eat something. Drink water. Bye.